So, good evening to all. So, once again, I welcome you for AICT Training and Learning Academy sponsor 6 days online faculty development program on AI assisted integration of renewable energy sources into EV charging networks from 18/8/25 to 23/8/25. So now today is the fourth day of our FTP. Today also we have two sessions. In the first session, our resource person is Dr. Arunya Revati ma'am from Alapha Settiar College of Engineering, Karaikudi. Welcome you, ma'am. Before going to session, some introduction about our chief guest, Dr. Arunya Revati ma'am. Actually, I am very proud to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Arunya Revati ma'am, because she is my UG staff and PG staff, and also for completion of my PhD, given more effort for my PhD. So welcome you, ma'am. She completed her BA in Madurai Kamaraj University and completed her ME in Madurai Kamaraj University, completed a PhD in Anna University, Chennai. Dr. Arunya Revati ma'am has more than 25 years of teaching experience both in academic and research side, and published more than 23 journals in international and national level, and organized more than 21 workshops, seminars, and FTPs. Next, she is a lifetime member of ISTE, and also the member of PO is a member of CIT College, that is a Coimbatore Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Next one, this is next. She is also university nominee of CIT. I am very proud of to introduce our chief guest. So thank you so much, ma'am. Welcome you for the session. Ma'am, welcome, ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear?
Okay, thank you, Radha Lakshmi, ma'am.
Welcome, ma'am.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Let's hand over session to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, participants. I am Dr. Arunya Revati, working as a professor in Alagappa Chettiar Government College of Engineering and Technology, Karaikudi, Tamil Nadu. Today, I am going to deliver some outline about the integration of AI with renewable energy sources. Before that, as we all know, the global demand for energy is steadily rising at an unprecedented rate due to population, urbanization, industrial growth, and increasing technological dependence. Traditional fossil fuel-based energy generation, while reliable, has resulted in high green gas emission, making climate change one of the most pressing issues of our time. We are under immense pressure to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels and climate change. Renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, hydro, and biomass are being deployed worldwide, but their integration into existing power system is not simple, as these sources are highly variable and weather dependent. This is where artificial intelligence offers a breakthrough. By applying machine learning, predictive analytics, and smart control, AI enables efficient forecasting, grid stability, energy storage optimization, and predictive maintenance. Yet, despite its promise, AI integration comes with its own set of challenges, including data quality, cybersecurity risk, infrastructure limitations, and shortage of skilled professionals. In addition, issues like regulatory barriers and the digital divide between developed and developing regions make the transition even more difficult. With this introduction, I will start this session. So in this session, I have to give some outline about the basics of renewable energy sources, traditional power generation methods, artificial intelligence, and then integration of AI with renewable and its challenges, and what are the research gaps for doing research work, and what are the funding agencies are available to get a fund under this title. Like that, I want to discuss in this session. So first we see about the timeline of energy generation over the decades. Okay. So during the year 4000 to 2000 BC, it is called as the age of wood. That is, at the starting, the human beings are using wood to create fire. With this fire, they are generating power. After that period, the arising of coal is slowly get increased. And in the year 1716, the coal will the participate 70% of resources for the power generation. So this 1760 is called as the age of gold. And in 1870s, first national grid system is developed. And in 1882, first hydropower station was installed. 1916, first geothermal power plant is installed. 1954, first nuclear power plant comes. 1941, first windmill was introduced. First PV system is developed in 1954. For 1991, first commercial biodiesel plant is introduced. So for a long decades, from wood to renewable energy, so many resources are used for the production of power to meet the power demand or energy demand. So today we are making are reducing the traditional fossil fuel usage in a low manner and increase the renewable energy sources because of two factors. One is global energy demand and the another one is the climate change. What is global energy demand? It is the energy consumption by the people due to increase in the population, urbanization and industrialization. The global energy demand will get increased over the years. So this bar graph shows the primary energy consumption along the world from 2000 to 2022 and with a forecast until 2050. This is taken from the resource energy source. So by seeing this bar graph, in the year 2000, blue color represents oil. Okay, oil is the maximum participants to produce the power. When compared to the renewable energy is in orange color. Okay, but in 2025, we see that there is an increase in the resources like oil, natural gas, coal, and so on. Even though they are increasing, renewable also takes place more in the power generation process. In the year 2050, our government stakeholders for the artificial intelligence integration with the renewable energy source can decide or can plan that make the power generation from the renewable energy sources more rather than the conventional sources. So in the time of 2050, the participation of renewable energy sources more when compared to the traditional fossil fuels. So with the requirement or energy demand is satisfied by the fossil fuels today as 80%. The main fossil fuels are coal, oil, natural gas. It is the backbone of industrial growth for centuries and it meet demand but cause high greenhouse gas emission. So this traditional fossil fuel has some advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are high energy density, reliable and consistent energy supply, easy to transport and store, well established in infrastructure and technology, crucial for industrialization and economic growth. but it has disadvantages. The main disadvantages are greenhouse gas emission. This will create climate change and global warming and cause air pollution. And it is a non-renewable and depleting resource. So at the time we are having power generation with the help of coal, but in future it is difficult to derive power from the coal. So we have to switch over from traditional method to renewable method. And this fossil fuel usage of power production will create oil spills, mining hazards, and health issues. The second factor is climate change. Due to the melting of ice, smokestacks, rising temperatures, we face global warming, extreme weather, rising sea levels. Okay. So if the temperature rises means people are use the AC air conditioner more. Okay. So compared with the low previous years, the usage of air conditioner is more. So we have faced the global warming. So we have to arrest this negativities. So in order to meet the global demand and also reduce the impact of climate change, we have to switch over from fossil fuel to some other fuels. What are the reasons to switch over from fossil fuels? First one is environmental damage and climate change concerns. It rising the global energy demand cannot be sustained by fossil fuels. Increasing adoption of renewable energy alternatives, policies and global agreements push for low carbon energy, need for sustainable, clean and secure energy in future. So in future, we have to go for sustainable, clean and secure energy. So for that reason, we are switch over from traditional fossil fuel as a resource for power generation to the renewable sources. So this is a graph which is taken from IEA. It tells about the global energy mix. Here you see red color represents oil, green color represents clean energy, brown color represents coal, gray color represents natural gas. So in this graph, in the time of 1950, the most participant for power generation is coal. The second participant is oil. But you see the green line, it is very, very small amount of participation, that is clean energy. But due to the invention and usages and meet out the demand and make the environment clean, we have to reduce the or increase the renewable energy usages. At the year 2023, you see that renewable also make a more important part in the power generation. The IEA, under IEA, 3 layers are the steps: APS, non-zero emission. So these 3 are planned to make the power generation, most of the power generation from renewable energy rather than the traditional fossil fuels in the year 2050. So this is the expectation or plan from the stakeholders of renewable plus AI integration organization. So for meet out the energy demand, for every year the government policies and regulatory are decided to add 600 gigawatt of solar photovoltaics, 160 gigawatt of wind, 30 gigawatt of hydropower, 12 gigawatt of other renewable energy sources to achieve the clean energy concept. So by 2030, renewable energy capacity could increase 2.3 times over the 2023 levels. So in the graph, I told that the steps APS, NES, steps means stated policy scenario, is designed to provide a sense of prevailing direction of energy system progression. So this stated policy will make or will plan that fossil fuel demand utilization to be reduced from 80% to 58% by the year 2050. The apes and in non-zero emission illustrate that extent to which announced ambition and target can deliver the emission reduction. Non-zero emission is the describes a pathway for the global energy sector to reach net zero CO2 emission by 2050. That is, both are the aim is to reduce the emission to zero. So to achieve this, they have to do some plans. So in this diagram, we have to clearly understand that how the net zero emission is achieved. So here we have blue color, it represents electricity and heat. Magenta color represents industry. Lavender color represents transport. Green color represents building. And gray color represents others. Okay, how they achieve this net zero emission in the year 2050 means that is in the year 2020, the government policies and the stakeholders have decided to not adding any new oil, gas fields approved for development, no new coal mines and or mine extensions are not recommended. Okay, that is not a plan to do any oil or gas plants. Similarly, in 2021, there is no new unabated coal plants approved for development. In 2025, no new sales of fossil fuel boilers. That means they are avoiding or reducing the usage of equipments related to the power generation using fossil fuels. In 2030, all new buildings are zero carbon ready. That is, under building category, all buildings are that is, new buildings are zero carbon ready. And under transport, 60% of global car sales are electric. Under industry, most new clean technologies in heavy industry demonstrated at clean. That is, we are using clean technologies in the industries also. Then blue color, that is under electricity, 1020 gigawatt of annual solar and wind power is added. So like that, they are doing some plans to make the emission as zero. So in 2050, more than 80% of buildings are zero carbon ready, and more than 90% of heavy industrial production is low emission. Almost 70% of electricity generation globally from solar, PV and wind. Okay, this is the future plan to meet out the net zero emission. So in the 21st century, the world is rapidly moving towards renewable energy to reduce carbon emission and ensure sustainable growth. However, renewable energy sources like solar and wind are intermittent and unpredictable, which creates major challenges for power systems. So here we see some basics. Renewable energy is derived from natural sources and it is replenished constantly, that is in a regular time manner. Examples are sunlight, wind, water flow, geothermal, heat, and organic materials. Renewable energy is the solution for meeting the global energy system, demand system with zero emission. This only possibility. But even though it is a solution, it has some challenges like variability, unpredictability, and integration issues. These are the types of renewable energies: solar, wind, hydro, biomass, geothermal. I think already you know how the power generation is done with the help of these technologies. What are the advantages of renewable energy means? Environmental friendly, sustainable, available, abundant in nature, energy security, economic growth, supports rural and off-grid communities. Challenges of renewable energy, that is intermittency, high initial capital cost, energy storage technology is still evolving, integration with the existing grid is difficult because existing infrastructure is not suitable for integrating the renewable energy in the olden days. Nowadays, it is possible. Grid integration and infrastructure upgrades requires advanced forecasting and smart management, land use and ecological concerns. Then where these renewable energies are applied or where it is used in all the fields like industries, business, charging electric vehicles, water heating, integration into smart grids, and so on. So the renewable energy will meet out the energy demand, but most of it, it is an inefficient in today's scenario. That is, whatever the energy produced, it is not utilized efficiently. To make it as a efficient one, we go for a smart systems like artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence, with its ability to learn from data and predict outcomes, has emerged as a powerful tool to overcome these limitations and make renewable energy systems smarter and more efficient. So it is a growing field. It is accurately forecast solar and wind power, optimize energy storage, stabilize smart grids, reduce operational cost. Predicting, managing, and automating is very easy. It is very easy by implementing AI in renewable, and it is a smarter method, and it ensures maximum efficiency and reliability. The application of AI in renewable energy system is, it is applied in so many areas. Samples, predictive maintenance and fault detection, renewable energy forecasting and integration, enhanced grid and optimization, real-time monitoring, digital twin, system simulation, cyber security, smart manufacturing or industry 4.0 data pipeline. This I take this as an example for explaining how the AI is involved in the process. Okay, so here we have product plant, his data historian, data storage, AI and predictive analytics and algorithms, dashboards and alerts. From the production plant, the machines, sensors processed in the factory generate large amount of operational data like temperature, pressure, production counts, downtime, and so on. So this kind of data is obtained from the production plant, and it is stored in the some storage device called data historian. It is a specialized database that collects, stores, and organizes time series data from the production plant. Data storage, it is a cloud or database system. Whatever the data obtained from the data historian is stored in the cloud, and some other systems are also help to store the data through ERP, MES, quality system. ERP means enterprise resource planning. It provides business level data such as finance, supply chain, HR, and so on. MES means manufacturing execution system. It provides shop floor execution data like production scheduling, machine performance, etc. And quality system provides product inspection and quality control data. So these data from data historian, ERP, quality, MES are stored in the cloud. Then the AI, predictive analytics and algorithm, it will process the stored data and through machine learning and predictive algorithms and identify the patterns or detect the anomalies or predict failures and optimize production. These kind of action decision makings are takes place in this part. Dashboard, it is used to display visually to managers and other operators about the status of the decision making. That is helps monitor key performance indicators, efficiency, production output, overall performance. These kind of informations are displayed in the dashboard. Alerts is used in sometimes, that is some abnormal happens, then immediate attention will have to take place. So for that alerts are used. Alert may given through phone or control rooms or automated system for immediate action. So this is the one of the example for integrating AI in the production plant. Okay. Then applications of AI in renewable energy system. AI is used in renewable energy system for forecasting and prediction. Forecasting, it is categorized into weather forecasting and load forecasting. So weather forecasting, in this area, AI predicts solar irradiation, wind speed, and cloud cover. Under load forecasting, AI helps balance demand and supply by predicting energy consumption patterns. And also In failure protection, AI detects early signs of equipment faults in wind turbines, solar inverters, and batteries. Next application, grid management and optimization. So here AI is used for dynamic balancing of multiple sources, shifting consumption to match peak renewable energy generation, and it is also used in microgrids to ensure local, stable, and cost-efficient energy supply. And other application, energy storage optimization. So in this area, the AI is used for battery charge, managing battery charging or discharging. It predicts energy storage requirements during peak or off-peak periods. It integrates the different storage systems. And it is another application, operation and maintenance. In operation and maintenance, it will help to analyze vibration, thermal, and acoustic data from turbines and panels, and also identify the anomalies in PV models or turbine blades. Then energy trading and marketing. In this area, AI is used for automated trading in electricity market by predicting prices, and also optimizes the energy billing or selling for prosumers. So AI means so many techniques are there. Machine learning is one of the technique. This is used for forecasting demand, weather, and equipment faults. Deep learning is another technique. It is used for image-based solar panel fault detection, complex pattern recognition. Reinforcement learning is used for grid management, battery scheduling, dynamic control. Neural networks are used for nonlinear prediction of renewable outputs. Optimization algorithm like genetic algorithm and particle swarm optimization and so on for energy dispatch and storage control. What are the benefits of integrating AI with renewable? One is higher energy of renewable plants. That is, we are utilizing the generation effectively with the help of AI. Lower operational cost, enhanced reliability and stability of power supply, better utilization of energy storage, reduced greenhouse gas emission. Then in this slide, we have to know about real world example. That is, what are the companies involved in integrating AI with the renewable energy sources. One is Google DeepMind. This company is used to AI algorithms to wind power forecasting and optimization. Siemens Gamsa. It is a global leader in the wind power industry, specializing in designing, manufacturing, installation, and maintenance of wind turbines. Tesla Auto Bidder. It is a software, AI software for real-time energy trading with the battery storage. Indian Solar Mission, AI-based solar forecasting for stability. So these are the examples of the company or organization used in the integration of AI and renewable energy. Next, we discuss about the challenges in integration of AI into renewable energy system. So many challenges are we have to face while integrating the AI with renewable energy system. So first challenge, data availability and quality. So if you are using AI means you need data. Okay, so AI needs large high quality data sets for training. In renewable energy, data may be inconsistent, incomplete, or unavailable. So collecting high quality real-time data like solar irradiance, wind speed, load patterns is often limited or inconsistent. So we are not having full data set. So while using AI means then it will face some difficulty to predicting or anything. Okay. So it face some problems. Example, in remote areas, weather sensors or smart meters may be lacking or produce noisy or incomplete data. So how the data are incomplete or inconsistent means in remote areas due to weather condition or climatic condition, the weather sensors or smart meters are not working properly. So we do not get a full data. Then next challenge is model complexity and interpretability. Advanced AI models can be black boxes, reducing trust and making regulatory approval difficult. So the challenge is it is hard to explain decisions, especially in safety critical energy systems. Impact, what are the impacts? Means it reduces trust in AI decision by energy providers or regulatories. Integration with legacy systems. Existing grid infrastructure may not support AI integration, requiring costly upgrades. So high cost and complexity in retrofitting or upgrading equipment to accommodate AI solution. So this will make a hurdle to implement the AI. Next challenge is variability and uncertainty. Renewables like solar and wind are unpredictable, challenging AI's forecasting capabilities. So while AI can help forecast, this variability predicting with high accuracy remains difficult and impacts energy balancing. Real-time decision making. AI must operate in real time for grid control, which is computationally demanding. The challenge here is AI system must respond to changes in milliseconds for smart grid operations like demand response, fault detection, or storage control. The barrier behind this is achieving low latency, real-time AI inference with limited computational resources at the edge. Next challenge is cybersecurity risk. AI integration increases digital exposures, making systems vulnerable to attacks the data and data breaches are happen. So this will make a challenge to integrate the AI with renewable. Then high cost of implementation. AI setup involves high cost in infrastructure, data acquisition, and skilled labor. So it is tough for developing countries or small renewable energy projects. Then this regulatory and ethical barriers, lack of clear guidelines and ethical concerns around automated energy decisions. That is unclear policies around AI use in power generation grid operations. So lack of frameworks creates AI too difficult to integrate. Then talent and skill gap, shortage of professionals with expertise in both AI and energy systems. So AI is a now only it is a developing one. So the skilled persons available in this area is very low. So there is a shortage in the skilled person. Due to the shortage of professionals who can design, deploy, and maintain such integrated systems is less. So it is difficult to use the AI. Then environmental impact of AI. Training AI model consumes significant energy, potentially offsetting sustainable goals. AI models, especially large ones, consume significant computational power and energy. So it will create a paradox in a sustainability focused domain. Then government schemes and initiatives. So many government schemes are available. Some schemes are used for focus on power sector modernization. The schemes like NSGM, RDSS, Uday. Some schemes like MNRE missions, hydrogen missions, they focus on clean energy adoption with AI support. Some national programs like AI Strategy, Digital India provide the AI backbone for renewable energy integrations. So let us see in detail about the each schemes. National Smart Grid Mission, NSGM, it is under Ministry of Power. The goal of this scheme is modernize India's grid with smart meters, automated substations, and advanced communication systems for real-time monitoring, demand response, and integration of renewable energies. So here the AI provides the real-time data backbone and demand forecasting, outage prediction, and load balancing. So the pilot projects are planned in the cities like Chandigarh, Puducherry, and parts of Maharashtra. Next scheme, revamped distribution sector scheme, RDSS. It is under Ministry of Power. The goal of this RDSS is reduce AT&C losses and improve power supply. To improve discount efficiency and digitalize networks using smart meters, AI-driven analytics, and demand prediction. So here the AI is used for alerting funds for smart meters and SCADA systems, enabling AI-based energy audits and predictive analytics. So for this scheme, 3.3 lakh crore is allotted, and the project is done, have to be completed that is duration of the project is 2021 to 2025. Then next scheme, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan and FAME India scheme. It is under Ministry of Heavy Industries. The goal of this scheme is to promote EV adoption and ensure smart charging powered by renewables with AI-based load management and grid balancing. Here, the AI is used for optimizing charging schedules to align with renewable generation peaks, reducing grid stress. National Solar Mission under MNRE, the goal is to expand renewable capacity and ensure seamless integration of solar or wind into grid with AI-based forecasting and scheduling. Here, the AI is trialed for in forecasting, panel cleaning, optimization, and predictive maintenance for large solar parks. Then wind solar hybrid policy scheme, it is under MNRE. The goal of this scheme is hybrid projects to maximize land use and improve power stability. That is using wind and solar combined. They have to minimize the land usage. AI link here, the AI is used for forecast combined wind or solar output and coordinate storage dispatch. Green Energy Corridor under MNRE, the goal is to build transmission infrastructure dedicated to renewable power. So here AI can optimize renewable energy routing and reduce curtailment risk. National Electricity Mobility Mission Plan with AI-enabled smart charging pilots. It is a state-level project under MOP. The goal is to integrate EV charging with renewable availability. Here, AI algorithms are used for demand-side management and peak saving. AI in power sector pilot projects, Ministry of Power and NIT York. The goal is to deploy AI in predictive maintenance of transformers, dynamic load management, and theft detection. Some other schemes are available: Uday, ISFG, National Green Hydrogen Mission, Digital India Program, and so on. Case study, that is the challenges faced by the projects or some other schemes. First one, in India's National Solar Mission project, AI-based predictive maintenance tools struggled initially because SCADA data from solar farms was incomplete or inconsistent format. So this will happen in solar mission project. So what is the effect means? Higher downtime and reduced generation efficiency. Under forecasting variability in renewable generation, the case study is taken from California ISO. In California ISO grid operations, AI models used to forecast solar outputs sometimes underperform on days with sudden cloud cover due to microclimate effects. The impact is over or under scheduling power, leading to imbalance the grid. Cybersecurity risk, it has happened in European wind farm operator in 2020. Here, the AI-based performance monitor faced a ransomware attack targeting its IoT connected wind turbine sensors. The impact is temporary shutdown of turbines, leading to revenue loss and repair cost. Interoperability with legacy systems, it happens in Germany's Energy Wind program. Here, AI-driven energy dispatch optimization struggled because many older wind turbines and grid components did not support modern communication protocols. The impact is delayed AI adoption and higher integration cost. Then in high computational energy cost, the large-scale AI optimization project for Tesla's virtual plant in Australia faced criticism because training deep learning models required substantial cloud computing power, increasing carbon footprint. The impact is debate over the net environmental benefit. Then the case study under a regulatory and ethical constraint challenge. In the UK, AI was trialed for dynamic pricing in smart grid to shift consumer demand in synchronous with renewable generation. Regulators halted full deployment due to concern over price discrimination. The main impact is slower rollout of demand response program. Then human AI collaboration gaps under this in the offshore wind farms in Denmark, operators were reluctant to trust AI's predictive maintenance alerts because of false positives in early trials. Impact is underutilization of AI system despite potential benefits. So these are the real-time challenges faced under different places. Next, we discuss about the challenges in integrating AI with renewable energy system in India and its solution. So in India, under data quality and available heading, we face low smart meter penetration. That is only 33% of India's distribution transformers are connected with smart meters, limiting real-time data for AI analysis. Then fragmented and inconsistent data sets from multiple discoms, independent power producers and states. In the impact is AI model for forecasting, grid optimization, and predictive maintenance struggle without reliable historical and live data. So, real-time example is National Solar Mission project in some states lack unified SCADA data formats, leading to inaccurate performance prediction. The solution for this is to oscillate smart meters, to install smart meters and implement national energy data standards and create AI-ready national energy data platform under MNRE. Then grid infrastructure and interoperability. So in India, aging grid assets that cannot support modern communication protocols. Regional imbalance, that is renewable energy generation is concentrated in states like Rajasthan, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu, while high demand is in urban or industrial hubs far away. Then legacy assets, regional imbalance and poor communication protocols. Impact is AI optimization is constrained by physical and policy bottlenecks in grid operations. Example, real-time example, Brookings India noted curtailment risk in wind or solar due to transmission capacity limits. Solution for this is upgrade the substations with IoT and real-time monitoring, expand green energy corridors, promote open protocol adoption. Then forecasting and variability. Here, the challenges are highly variable weather patterns, that is monsoon, dust storm, and microclimate effects make AI-based forecasting challenging. Impact of this challenge is over or under scheduling of power leads to grid stability. The real thing happened in Eastern India solar forecasting research achieved 96% accuracy using ensemble machine learning, but required high quality site specific weather data. Solution for this problem or challenge is one is integrate high resolution satellite and Doppler radar data into AI forecasting model, establish regional AI forecasting centers for renewable energy zones, use ensemble machine learning approaches for site specific forecast. Then cyber security risk, IoT sensor network in AI enabled wind or solar farm increase the attack surface. Impact cyber attacks can lead to generation loss or grid disturbance. Real-time example, Indian energy firm have been warned about ransomware targeting SCADA systems. AI adds more networked points of vulnerability. Solution for this is mandatory cyber audits for all grid connected AI system, deploy AI-driven anomaly detection for SCADA or IoT networks, align with CRT in guidelines for critical infrastructure. Then high AI compute energy demand. Data centers powering AI require constant high electricity loads that exceed local renewable supply. Impact is risk of AI adoption undermining India's renewable targets if powered by fossil-based backup. Then solution for this is a mandate to renewable power data center, implement or install renewable power data center, encourage AI model efficiency via lightweight machine learning and edge computing, offer green data center incentives under MNRE's renewable energy development programs. Then policy regulatory gaps, the challenges, no comprehensive national framework for AI in the energy sector, lack of standards for AI transparency, accountability, and safety in grid critical systems. The impact is slows adoption and increases operational risk. Solution for this is create AI in energy policy framework, define transparency and interoperability standards for AI decision making in grid, establish regulatory sandboxes for AI, RE pilot projects. Then skill shortages in India, severe shortages of AI engineers with energy domain knowledge. Estimates suggest only one qualified Gen AI engineer for every 10 job openings. The impact is limit scaling of AI-based renewable integration projects. Real-time example, state utilities often outsource AI work to private firms, leading to dependence and higher costs. Solution for this challenges are launch AI in energy skill programs under Skill India and PMKVY. Then fund industry academic partnership for AI RE innovation. Example, IIT utility collaborations. Create fellowship for AI engineers in power sector projects. So these are the real-time examples happen in the India and the corresponding solution. Now we have discussed about research gap. That is, what are the research work carried out in these areas. So I give the table related to the challenges in integration of AI with renewable energy. First one, data availability and quality. This is one of the challenge. So existing research work, historical weather and energy data sets used for AI forecasting. So here we have to do some other extra work like lack of standardized high resolution open access data sets. So this is one of the gap that is a research work have to be considered. Then forecasting and prediction. So here existing research works are under AI models for solar or wind short-term forecasting. Identify gap, poor accuracy in extreme weather, limited cross-regional generation. So to sort out this, to meet out this, we have to do some research work related to hybrid AI with the physics-based models, transfer learning for global applicability, then energy optimization. The work goes on under AI for battery health monitoring and charging control. So the area to be researched is AI-driven optimization for multi-storage systems with life cycle cost analysis, then smart grid and decentralized centralization. Here the existing research work is on pilot AI projects for demand response and smart grid control. The research needed is integrating AI with blockchain for secure decentralized energy systems. In cybersecurity privacy, existing work carried out in AI anomaly detection applied in grid security. The research area under this cybersecurity and privacy in future is develop AI-driven cyber resilience systems for renewable energy networks. Economic and policy aspects here, effectiveness studies of renewable and AI adoption based on cost is carried out. So some things are to be carried out in this areas are create models like linking AI economics, regulatory forecasting, and carbon pricing, human capital and ethics. So here separate training in AI and energy systems are in the research field. So new fields are build programs on AI plus renewable energy, study ethics, fairness, and workforce transition, future-oriented gaps, early work on IoT AI in grids, research into federated learning, quantum AI, and AI for climate adoption. So these are the some of the research work going on, and research work has to be carried out is given here. So those people who are doing research in these areas make use of this. Just I will give awareness about the what is going and what has to be done. So in this slide, they will hybrid the concepts. Okay, that is in future we have to mix AI and IoT for renewable microgrids, AI and blockchain for transparent energy markets, and federated learning for energy data privacy, the AI for climate resilient renewable energy system, integration of quantum AI in energy forecasting. These are the new areas to do the research work. Then key funding agencies and programs. So many funding agencies and programs are happen in globe. In USA, the agency and programs are given here. So the focus area is AI for grid forecasting and renewables. Then international, regional type international agency program name on the Super AIRE, Artificial Intelligence from Renewable Energy, Interdisciplinary Research. For this, they are giving support. Then in Europe, Horizon Europe, Green and AI-driven clean energy R&D activities. Likewise, some countries, they are having some agencies and programs. In India, we are having the program or agencies IREDA, MNRE Fellowship, AICTE, DST, CSIR grants. So these agencies give fund related to R&D projects related to renewable and AI. So I come to the end of the presentation. So in this presentation, we have discussed that the global energy demand and climate change push us to move towards the renewable energy and the smart systems like artificial intelligence. So due to the population growth and urbanization and industrialization and climate change, we must transfer from the usage of fossil fuel as the resources for power generation to the renewable energy source, and also to make the globe as a clean one. That is, we have to make the globe as a zero emission. For this reason also, we have switched over from traditional concept of power generation to the renewable energy generation. Then we discuss about the AI applications. So AI is applied in so many fields. So without AI, we can't do anything in future. So we have to know what is AI and how this AI react and what are the outputs from the AI, then how it interact with the human being. Like that, we have to know. Then only we have to follow the future. Then we discuss about the challenges in worldwide and also in India. So many challenges are there while integrating the renewable energy and the AI. So even though we have a challenges, there is some solution for that. So we discuss about the solution for the different challenges, and in real time, these challenges are happen in so various places, and what are the impacts of the challenges we faced. This is also discussed in this presentation. Then we have discussed about the research areas. So research areas are so many areas are available. Here I will just give some clues about that. You refer so many um, resources, you get so many ideas. Then so many funding agencies are also available. So if you are interested, then you get a fund from the agencies and do the research projects. So for that reason, I will give some funding agencies list. So I think I will give some outline about the challenges due to the integration of renewable and artificial intelligence. So I come to the conclusion. While AI holds great promise for managing and optimizing renewable energy systems, like improving forecasting, automation, grid stability, and efficiency, addressing these challenges is critical for scalable, safe, and equitable adoption. Therefore, studying the integration of artificial intelligence with renewable energy systems along with the challenges is essential to ensure a sustainable, reliable, and intelligent energy future. With this, I thank the organization of this program and my student Radha Lakshmi for giving this opportunity. I request the participant to ask any queries.
Participants, any queries, please ask to our resource person. Anybody?
Madam, no queries, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Can you type in the chat box also?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful speech. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
Shall I
you.
leave?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So participants are requested to please wait for 5 minutes for next session.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
அவங்க அப்படிதான் நீ தலையில வச்சு நான் விட மாட்டேன் என்னோடது நீ தலையில அவங்க ஒரு சில விஷயத்துல அவங்க பண்ற பாலிடிக்ஸ் இவங்க சொல்றாங்க பாலிடிக்ஸ் அதாவது என்ன சொல்றது இந்த இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பேசிஸ்ல ஐடிஎஸ்ல வந்து நிறைய பேர் டபுள் குரூப் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ணிருக்காங்க இந்த மாதிரி இவங்க பண்றது சில விஷயத்த நம்ம ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்றதுனால நமக்கு எதுக்கு அவங்க பஸ்ல இருக்கோம் நம்ம வேலையை பார்ப்போம் அப்படிங்கிற ரீதிக்கு வந்துட்டாங்க 2 பேரும் 40 ப்ராஜெக்ட் ஈஸி ப்ராஜெக்ட் அது பண்ணணும் தமிழ்ச்செல்வி ஒரு ப்ராஜெக்ட் வாட்ஸ்அப் ப்ராஜெக்ட் சரி
Participants, please turn on your camera or take a screenshot. Participants, please turn on your camera or video.
Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, good evening, sir. Wait, okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda. Please wait for 5 minutes.
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
joining
Thank you.
of another one resource person. Please take a 5 minutes only.
Can you able to hear me, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir. Yes,
okay.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
right.
1 second, sir. 1 second, sir.
No problem.
Welcome you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the invite, ma'am. Yeah.
1 minute, sir. In 1 minute.
Yes, please. Let me check whether.
Wait, wait, wait. 1 second, please, sir.
My voice is audible, right? Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Audible.
yeah, please. Let me
So
share my
now move on
screen.
to next session. In this section, our resource person is Dr. Gopinath, sir. Head of ADAS and autonomous driving practice at the Automotive Center of Excellence, UST, International Private Limited. He completed BA in Madurai Kamaraj University and completed MA and PhD in Control Engineering and Automation from Indian Institute of Technology, that is IIT Delhi. Dr. Gopinath sir has held key position at leading organizations, including that is such as ABB Global Industries and Services Limited, Corporate Research Bangalore, Vestas Technology R&D Chennai, and Applied Research International Private Limited New Delhi, and Robert Pasco Engineering and Business Solutions Limited Bangalore, and Tata LC Bangalore. Dr. Gopinath sir also the certified Scrum Master and has contributed significantly as a quality reviewer for internal quality reviewers, ISO and CMMI level 3/4 audit preparations. He published more than 25 journals, both at national level and also international, and published more than 20 papers in conference proceedings also. He is an inventor of 5 patents filed across India, Europe, and the United States, and also active reviewer for international journals, that is IEEE, Elsevier, and InterScience. He is a very eminent person for our FDP. So welcome you, sir. Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, so welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for the invite, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks for inviting me for this faculty development program. And yeah, hope all the participants, am I audible, right? Hopefully they
yes,
can
sir.
able to see me.
Audible.
Right.
Sir.
And let me share my screen. I hope you need to pass the presenter access to me. Can you give the presenter access to me, ma'am?
Okay, sir. Just 1 minute, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you share, sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Hello? Yeah.
அன்மியூட் பண்ணி Sir, can you hear me, sir? Any problem, sir?
Uh, can you hear me, voice?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So should I start first or from first, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Please. Yeah. Okay. So welcome for this session on the faculty development program, and happy to present my experience on the smart vehicles and how the AI is assisting such smart vehicles so that it can bridge the gap between the automations and bringing the sustainability over the over such kind of an integration of such AI technologies into these smart vehicles, right? So this is my overall content where I have put all the bullets over here with respect to the certain basic definitions on what is mean by ADAS, which is basically the autonomous driving assistance system. And then we'll also touch upon some of the concepts of smart vehicles and the role of AI. We'll also bring some elements of understanding what is this AI is and how effectively that we can utilize relative to your applications as well. And I kept the overall session in a very generic way, taking only an automotive as an application area, but you can always relate your applications to your corresponding research domains. Some of you might be a research scholars who will be pursuing your PhD areas, or some of you are also having your research areas in enhancing by using the AI, right? So I hope I'll be able to justify today's session with this particular content, and I'll also touch upon something which is very very recent, which is Gen AI. People are talking about Chat GPT. So what is basically inside such engine, and how one can able to utilize such the advancements of the AI into our current research as well, right? And Thanks for the invite from the college and the organizers' perspective, right? So moving on to the basic definitions of the automotive areas in which we are talking about ADAS, which is called Advanced Driver Assistance System. Hope everybody will be having your like your car, and how many like people are really using are really exploring. There are so many sophisticated systems which is assisting you while driving. Okay, so I have given a list of such kind of ADAS features which is available in the current vehicles, not only in India, not only in the other countries like US or Europe, but these kind of features are also like touching Indian roads. And you could see there are many new vehicles from say Mahindra or a Kia or even Hyundai. These are all I would say it's a kind of a mid segment or a high end segments vehicles are also having such kind of a features which are available. You might have also heard about these features in your in YouTube's or in advertisements as well, right? Something called adaptive cruise control, so that once you set your speed of your vehicle in particular speed in a highway, and the vehicle will keep maintaining that speed when you're moving in that particular road. And if there are any new vehicles coming with a low speed, or if there is any vehicle which is stopped, the vehicle by itself will adjust its speed. So that is why it's called adaptive cruise control, which is there in the top, and it utilizes some kind of a sensors like camera or a radar which will be fitted in the vehicle, right? So I'm not going in deep into this kind of a features, but more from the perspective of giving an overview that how these features will be giving an assistance to the drivers, right? When you are driving your vehicle in a road, either it could be urban road or it could be highway, right? So when there is a heavy traffic, there are traffic signal based recognition, and then there is a traffic jam assist will try to help you, so that you don't have to put your brake or act or clutch continuously. You don't have to change it. The system will itself will take care of such things. Similarly, if you want to make your vehicle to go in a particular lane and you don't want to get out of that particular lane, and you can take your hands from your steering, the vehicle will keep you within that lane. That's called a lane keep assist kind of a features. And some of the drivers, even though they are very pros in driving these vehicles in a road, but they will be feeling difficulty in parking their vehicle. So in such kind of systems, we'll have something called a parking assist or park assist kind of features, which are also nowadays coming in recent vehicles, so that you can get out of the vehicle and then just press the park assist or go and park by itself by through your mobile. The vehicle will automatically go and park wherever there is a free space which is available. So such kind of a features which is assisting you in driving, not only in driving but also in parking. So those are all the systems we are talking about as the driver assistance systems. And they are basically an electronic system which has which is we call it as the ECU, electronic computing unit, which will have some kind of a softwares which will understand or it will try to get the input from different sensors, and then it tries to compute whatever the controls that I need to give, whether it's a steering or a hack or brake in that vehicle. All the path planning, decision making, everything will be done taken care within the vehicle. I'm not talking about a self-driving vehicle. This is still a human-driven vehicle, but these vehicles will still help you while driving. Suppose if I'm driving a vehicle for say about more than 200 300 kilometers, obviously the driver will be keep getting his fatigue and he'll be tired. So in such kind of a scenarios, these driving assistance systems will help those drivers. And it will also be identifying whether the driver is sleepy or drowsy, and it will also suggest the drivers to slow down or take a cup of coffee. So such kind of a features we are talking about as an advanced driver assistance systems. Okay, but at the same time we are also not compromising on the safety perspective. So active safety as well as the passive safety systems are also part of the ADAS systems, right? Something like your seat belt or even airbags, those are all passive safety elements. But at the same time, well, these elements will be only be helpful only when if the car is actually getting crashed, right? So after the accident happens, then these safety systems will be helpful. That is why they are all passive safety systems. Whereas if you're talking about an active safety, it continuously monitors your driving, and like prevents such kind of a collisions, or even if the accident is we cannot prevent such kind of an accident, at least it will reduce the effect or the impact of such or a severity of such kind of collisions. So auto emergency braking is a very good features which are also coming with these kind of vehicles. So more and more such kind of features are keep adding in our vehicles, so that the vehicles are becoming more smart and more and more intelligent. And that is why we are talking about something called these vehicles as a smart vehicles, right? So everybody is having a smartphones. Why we are calling that as a smartphones instead of a mobile? Hey, it's a mobile or it's a smartphone, right? So more and more artificial intelligence are penetrating into our phones, right? And in our mobiles. And hence there are advanced digital and AI technologies. There are more and more sensors are also getting into our mobile phones. And then very good connectivity features. We are talking about earlier we talked about 2G, 3G, now 4G and 5G. Future, we are already started with, working on 6G, right? And there are pilot programs are also happening on that. So in that way, there is a connectivity features which are also getting involved in getting into this kind of mobile networks, so that it can enhance the users interaction with such kind of mobiles, and they will also be feeling the good feel factor of having such advanced technologies. Now bring the same concept from a mobile to a vehicle. How good it will be if I'm having a vehicle which has all such a features like advanced digital AI technologies. Then it will also have mobile like sensors like cameras, radars, and even there are laser based sensors like lidars. And then it will also be able to have a connectivity between one vehicle to the another. We are talking about something called vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to infrastructures, or even vehicle to pedestrian who is trying to cross the road. They can able to talk to the vehicle, or the vehicle will talk to them, and then try to avoid kind of a collisions through infrastructures, right? So those are all the kind of a technologies which are actually penetrating into these vehicles and making them as a more and more smart in the focus of enhancing the safety, automation, and the user experience perspective, right? So finally, what we are talking about is we are talking about how I can bring in the human level intelligence in the perspective of sensing, and then thinking or processing those sensed information. That is what we call it as a process. And then providing the correct controls, basically the acting in an intelligent way, so that you can avoid collisions and peacefully you can travel from one point to another. And that's the whole definition of what is the meaning of smartness in the context of smart vehicles, right? Obviously the AI is the key component, and more softwares are getting into these vehicles nowadays. People are talking about software defined vehicles, SDVs, right? Where the volume of software which is getting into such kind of a vehicles are also keep increasing, because we are keep increasing the features of the new features into these vehicles, right? So I have a table which I will show you shortly, where you can evaluate, or you can weigh how much amount of software or a code which is getting into our vehicles in order to enhance these vehicles to be more and more smart, right? Yeah. Now, another small definition on what is the kind of levels of automation which is defined by Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE standard body. And it defines such terms and terminologies, and we call it as a taxonomy and the definitions. so that one can able to qualify their vehicles with respect to this particular taxonomies, right? Because nowadays, if you see, there are more and more vehicles are sold by different OEMs. OEMs are basically the original equipment manufacturers, I would say, like car manufacturers in this particular context. And everybody is coming and then saying that, yes, I have a new vehicle which is coming with a level 2 ADAS features, level 1 ADAS features. It has a so what is the meaning of that? It has adaptive cruise control, it has a emergency braking, and it can keep your vehicle within the lane, right? So we'll get into a very generic terms understanding. Then it's easy for us to quantify or qualify whether the vehicle is really having those levels of automation in their vehicle, right? Hope some of you might have having such kind of a vehicles, or you might have heard about such kind of a vehicles in an advertisements. And very recently I could see that there are people are talking about we are having a vehicle with a level 2 plus features, right? So as such, there is no something a term called a level 2 plus or a 2.1 2.2 or something. It's all a whole numbers, and based on this understanding you can either put it as a level 2 or a level 3, or if they may be in the migration between level 2 and level 3, so it may be a little bit more than level 2, and hence they may coin the word called a level 2 plus or level 2 plus plus kind of a things, or they are not at reach to level 3. Okay, so what is the meaning of these levels of automation, right? And there are different colors, and there is a real meaning of these different colors between the green and there is a blue color, right? So let's consider there is a level 0. Nowadays you might have having a car, or you might have traveled in a car, and when a driver is trying to park his vehicle in a parking area, or you may be parking your vehicle in a parking area, the moment when you're going in the reverse direction, and if there is any obstacle in the backside, it could be a human, or it could be a wall, or it could be a pillar in a parking area, your vehicle will start giving a warning sound to you, right? So that's a very very basic example of how it is assisting you when you are taking your vehicle in a reverse direction. And it's not putting a brake for you, it's only giving a warning to you. And hence the vehicle is having a level 0 features, so it has only a level 0 automation, right? It's you can ask me a question like here, then why the hell we have to put a level 0 as one of the automation level, right? But still a warning is also assisting the drivers, right? So that the driver can still take a control on that, and then he can put immediately a brake. Otherwise he will go and hit the objects in the backside, whether it could be a pedestrian, or it could be another vehicle, or even a pillar or a wall in that case. So what these features will do, these features are limited to provide warnings, and at same time, if there is any a momentary assistance which is possibly that I can able to give it something very very emergency kind of a scenario, in which I would like to actually try to give some kind of a not only the warning, but also you try to give me an emergency braking kind of a feature, right? So that's why auto emergency braking or automatic emergency braking is a very good feature, which is falling under the category of level 0. And until otherwise, it doesn't give any kind of a control on your acceleration or a braking, or even a steering in the case of a level 0. Now coming into a level 1, you give one level of automation. It means either you give acceleration or a brake control from the human to the system, so that I will set the speed to the vehicle or to the system, so that it will keep following that. It's something called, in a control system we call it as a reference following kind of a system, or set point controls, right? So same way, here you keep the vehicle within the particular lane, so that it will be keep following that same lane, it doesn't go out of that lane. Or if I set a speed, it will go in that same speed. If any vehicle comes, it will reduce its speed, so that it maintains the distance between the other vehicle, so it keeps following that vehicle. And once the vehicle in the front goes out of my path, you keep increasing your speed, the vehicle itself, by increasing the speed to the set point. So that's the way it works, but it either steering control or only act and brake control, either one level of automation. That is why it's called a level 1 automation, or SAE level 1. But if I wanted to give, so you can clearly see this particular table, it has these features providing steering or brake acceleration, supporting the driver while driving, right? So but when you're talking about no, I want to have both steering control as well as the acceleration brake control, so then you are talking about a vehicle which has having a level 2 features. So if we talk about a vehicle which is having a level 2 features, maybe the recent Mahindra vehicle which is having lane keeping control, as well as it has also an emergency braking, it has also having a, say, like adaptive cruise control. So in that case, I will qualify that kind of a vehicle as a level 2 kind of a features, right? Now, in all these level 0 to say level 2, still you are driving, you are the one who is the driver, and you will be taking the entire driving task, and the other, these systems will be only supporting you, and hence they are on, these are all called as only the driver assistance systems or driver supporting systems. So what the human has to do, you are driving. So that's a very, very clear statement and a clear rule which has been given, that you have to continuously sit there in your driver's seat and continuously focus and even constantly supervise how these features are actually working. If any kind of errors or anything which is happening with these systems, you have to immediately take a control. So you are the fallback mechanism, right? There is no other fallback mechanism, right? If we talk about any maybe a flight control, there is a, once the flight is taken off, that then the pilot will put it into autopilot mode, then the rest of the things will be taken care. Even the pilot can go for a cup of coffee, or he can go for a restroom, right? It is no longer to be sitting there in his driver's seat, right? But whereas here it is not that we are talking about. You have to still sitting there in your driver's seat, and then you have to keep following up or keep looking into your driving task, right, till your level 0 to say level 2. Then there is a shift or a paradigm shift from level 2 to level 3, and hence you can also observe that there is a color change between blue to say green. What is that this feature is going to do? The feature is going to drive the vehicle, right, under certain limited conditions, and then it will not operate unless all required conditions are met. It means we are putting some kind of a boundaries. Like some of you might be working in optimization problems, right? So in all these different optimization problem, in order to arrive at a global or a best solutions, we always put some kind of a boundaries, right? Whether if it is a linear programming problem or it's a dynamic programming problem, you will be keep defining your boundaries, so that I will be able to get the best out of that within the boundary, right? If anything goes out of the boundary, I will not be, or the program will not be able to give the best out of that. And hence the same here. So you have all the level 2 features, but in addition to that, a level 3 feature where the vehicle will be drive by, or it can drive by itself. And many of you know what is a Tesla's highway autopilot. So if you are in a Tesla vehicle, you can always put it into highway autopilot. It can take you without any of your interventions. It can take steering, it can take a brake, it can even consider all the human level intelligence in order to do the brake or in order to do the path planning. And it will also find out where the free space is, and then it can keep going. So what the human is going to do here, you are not driving. That means you can still be sitting there in the seat, but you are not driving. You can take your hands off, and then you can also take your legs off from the steering, and legs off from the act and brake pedal. The system will take care. But there is a catch here between level 3 and level 4. There is a small blue color here. When this particular system request, that means, hey, I'm not able to do, the system or a computer which is sitting inside the car is telling you there is some problem, there is some glitch, I'm not able to, because some conditions are not met, I'll not be able to take a right decision at this point of time. So in such a cases, the human has to immediately take the control back, right? It's seamless. Like the moment when you touch your act pedal or a brake pedal by your foot or by your legs, or if you want to take your control on the steering, once you start touching itself, the system will immediately give the control back to you, right? So it's all seamless. So in that way, we define the level 3, right? Now, level 4 and level 5. So a level 3 is an intermediate between ADAS, which is a driver assistance system, to the self-driving vehicle. So we call this as a partial automation system. When it is going to a level 4 and level 5, it is the ultimate. Basically, level 4 is a high level of automation, and level 5 is a full automation level. Suppose you have your college campus. Within the campus, I want to have a vehicle running from point A to point B without any human. That is called a level 4 vehicle. No need of anybody sitting inside the driver's seat. But it's all limited within only your own local network or your local areas, right? Maybe a particular city, right? Now, if I'm producing such a vehicle in India and then sending it to US, or producing a vehicle in Europe or Germany and then sending that vehicle to India, and the vehicle will, without driver, it will work, then that is what we call as a level 5 vehicle, which has all the features, and it will not have any driver seat. It will have only the person who is only the riders who will be sitting inside that, right? You will not be able to see any kind of acceleration, brake, or you will not even see any kind of a steering. So I have some videos I will show you so that you can appreciate what is the level of automations are getting into such kind of a vehicles, and people are already having such level 5 vehicles, which are self-driven vehicles, which are tested in public roads. Now, little bit I wanted to touch more on the AI perspective, right? So we talked about driver assistance. What are the different areas in which the AI is actually getting penetrated? Driver assistance systems, we talked about many different vehicles are nowadays equipping with cameras, radars, lidars. So the moment when you have all these different sensors, it's a multi-sensor kind of a system, and you are employing not only the computer vision but also very sophisticated artificial intelligence method like deep learning, or even Gen AI, vision transformers kind of models, in order to make more and more accurate predictions or accurate recognitions of such kind of image processing algorithms. So that's where AI is helping in order to improve the overall accuracies in driver assistance systems. It's not only the perception we talk about, it's also taking controls, sensor fusion, and final end-to-end kind of a controls in the case of autonomous vehicle. It has that human level of intelligence which are coming into that. So there are other AI areas, something like in manufacturing areas also you could see that AI is penetrating, and there are personal assist systems increasing the passenger experience. So every element a deeper use cases for the AI to get inside this, right? Even when you're talking about as the theme of this particular the faculty development program, it's basically the AI, how well it is actually assisting when I'm going to integrate a renewable energy sources, right, in the either in the power system, or maybe in electric vehicle segments, or vehicle to grid, or grid to vehicle, so or in a charging kind of environments. There are so many such kind of use cases that one can talk about when we are talking about how well the AI can assist such kind of features. Okay, but at this point of time, this presentation, I'm limiting more the AI very specifically for the smart vehicle perspective. But no, it's nevertheless that AI has its legs on everywhere, every elements of the day-to-day life applications in that case. So this is some of the statistics which I could see, where how the overall market of the autonomous vehicle, which is basically the smart vehicle or self-driving vehicles, how it is expanding, and the entire world is actually moving towards the market share in having more and more smartness into their vehicles, right? At the same time, I've also done some literatures statistics. How many literatures are actually being published on the AI algorithms over the past maybe close to around 10-11 years? We see that IEEE has more than 200 or 2000 plus kind of a papers, and then MTPI has more than close to around another 3,500 papers, and SAE is also having close to around 500 papers, very much related to the AI algorithm development kind of a papers, right? Not necessarily it's an application only for automotive. This is in general. And now I'm relating that with how many such papers are related to my domain of or the targeted domain, which we are targeting in automotive domain. But tomorrow, if you are interested, you can also do such kind of a search in your own key areas like power system. If you are an electrical engineer, if you are in a robotics engineer, you can get into how it is getting applied in a industrial automation or robotics areas, right? And similarly on the communication areas as well, right? Now, the trend which is what important here, where we could see that there is an exponential increase which is happening, where the AI is getting penetrated into our research, and hence more and more new algorithms are actually getting developed and getting implemented into our applications, and more such new AI algorithms are increasing the overall accuracies of certain applications. And that's what it's very evidently can be seen from the trend of this particular bar charts, right? And the last is on the artificial intelligence market, which is also keep increasing, and you could see that revolutionary changes are also happening with the Gen AI. Nowadays everybody started using ChatGPT, right? So I'll also touch upon a simple slides on Gen AI, how it is actually working, and what is happening in backside of the ChatGPT when you're asking certain queries for either for your research or for your some kind of a image search or a text search. I think some of you might be doing your PhDs, or some of you might be writing your papers for your research. Obviously, you'll be doing some kind of a literature survey, or you will also ask your students to go and do some kind of a literature surveys, right? So earlier we used to go to certain libraries, and then we used to take a Xerox copy, which is a hard copy, and then we start reading those papers. So that's the old one. But now that's not the case, right? Every element is available in a digital form, right? Thanks to the AI technologies and the digital transformations, where you could see more and more these kind of work, which will be within an hour. I would be able to come out with the whole literature survey, which is available, which is for the past 10 years or 12 years or 10-15 years, what's happening around this particular targeted area. If you ask such a question to the ChatGPT, it starts providing you with that information with a very neat report, with a very good quality inputs, right? And it's a matter of just you need to concentrate more on your research than looking into what's happening in the past. That's it, right? And that's the way the artificial intelligence market is growing, right? And this slide is talking about since the topic is on AI, I would like to give a little bit emphasis on this particular slide, where what is the AI, right? We are talking about everything is AI, artificial intelligence, but there are clear differences between an AI and ML and DL, and DL to Gen AI, right? So it's an image which was available from Google search. I did Google search, and then I could able to get this, which is clearly demarking what is the clear differences between when I'm coining or when I'm trying to use a AI or ML or a DL or a Gen AI in that case. So in general, artificial intelligence is emulating the human behavior. So it can also make decisions without any human interventions, and it can also use your like route planning or in the context of an autonomous vehicle. But it has all the prediction capabilities and everything. We call it as artificial. So in general, AI is mimicking the human level intelligence. That's the takeaway. Then what is that we are talking about? A machine learning. So obviously machine learning has a little difference between AI, where you have already some kind of a data sets which are already available. Maybe it's a recorded data sets. Even if I'm talking about a power system, something called load forecasting. You have the loads in the power system, either in the distribution side or in the gen side, where you have how much amount of power which is generated or energy which is generated, and then how much it was utilized at the customer end. It can be a short-term forecasting or a long-term forecasting. What you are trying to do is you try to forecast or predict what's going to be in next 1 hour my load. That is basically your short-term forecasting. But how you are doing that? Using the past data, what you have, how the trend was there. And you try to identify some kind of a pattern and try to learn that pattern and then try to predict it. And that is what your machine learning is trying to do. Okay. So whatever the machine learning algorithms, it tries to learn the patterns, recognize the patterns in the data. And if there is any new variations, you can also add some kind of variations can happen. Some kind of uncertainties can be added to that so that it can predict the new scenarios and come out with some good predictions, and so that you can able to utilize such information in order to take care of the future. So that is what the key difference between artificial intelligence and the machine learnings, right? Then you'll all obviously ask, hey, you're talking about AI, you're talking about ML, but people are talking about deep learning. What is the meaning of that? Why we are talking about deep learning, right? Now, it's not only talking about the pattern understanding. So see, all these things are subsets, right? Everything is everything, whatever the features, it's something called in your C++ language, we talk about something called inheritance as a property, right? So inheritance means what? It's a father who is artificial intelligence, and his first generation is machine learning. He's tried to adapt whatever the features from AI, but at the same time he is also having his own quality. Now the same thing, machine learning, it's also having deep learning, where it has the inherited behaviors which has to mimic the human behavior. So it has inherited that behavior from artificial intelligence, and it's also inherited the behavior from machine learning. It understands from the pattern, but at the same time, what is the separate quality of the deep learning is it can do and identify certain inferences from those perceptions, and then it can identify the cognitions and understanding how the data patterns are, how well it is actually changing over a time, how the behaviors are actually getting changed. If there is a new scenario comes, how well I can able to adaptively change and then try to provide it. So you are a little bit increasing the boundary of your machine learning, and hence we coined them as a deep learning frameworks, right? Now we are in the era where we are talking about Gen AI. It has the superpower of all the AI, ML, deep learning, but at the same time, it's also having the intelligence in it to generate by its own, which was not the case in AI, ML, and deep learning. It cannot generate by its own. If I'm asking something, you ask to develop something like I have a certain imagination, and that kind of a data which is nowhere available, but I can ask such a question, how good it will be, such kind of an imagination power that I'm trying to provide it to the AI. It's not prediction, right? But in order to do that prediction, it has to have certain previous bad patterns or anything, right? But it's not doing in that way. It is trying to generate something new for you, right? So every time whenever you're using a chat GPT, you're asking questions, and if you're asking the same questions, it tries to give you more and more. And then finally it'll also be asking, right? Some of you might be familiar with that. It'll throw you some suggestions. Can you want to add some more flavors, whether this kind of a feature also will be helpful for you? Like that, it tries to give some kind of a suggestions, more like a personal agent, or for you, in order to make more and more generations of new things which is coming out from the AI, and hence it is classified under the category called generative AI, right? It's not only for a text or a speech. Nowadays, Ghibli images, I think it was famous, I think 6 months back, or so people started sharing their photos with the family, and then they will be generating their cartoon photos of their own original photos. So it was basically trying to generate something new which is nowhere occur or nowhere is available, right? So that is the capability of the AI which we are talking about nowadays. And people are trying to use such AI techniques in multiple of their applications, right? Maybe I can skip this slide. It's mainly talking about the AI components, how it is getting adapted here in different perceptions, decision making, and controls. And this is a good statistics. You could see that when I'm keep increasing the levels of automation from level 0 to say level 5, you could see that the software elements getting inside the car, it's keep increasing from a megabyte to terabytes, gigabytes to terabytes level. So that is the quantum of or the weight of softwares which are getting into that. More and more softwares are going to get occupy the space in every element. Here we are talking about an application in cars or vehicles, but tomorrow it can be a power system, it can be your SCADA, or it can be even a very if you're from industrial automation, there are high level of industrial automation revolutions are happening, right? We are talking about industry 4.0, industry 5.0, right? So more and more softwares are actually trying to help in realizing the higher level of autonomous or higher level of automations in our day-to-day life in several applications that we are talking about. So you can also bring in or bring out some kind of a statistics on your specific areas, like the way. And this is a question that I asked ChatGPT. So and it has produced this particular table for me in that case. Okay, right. Now, how AI. So we talked about something called AI. Something is a vehicle, and something we call it as a perceptions. And we talk about some applications and how these AIs are actually penetrating in the image processing area, and decision making areas or control areas, very specifically for the automotive segment in that perspective. So here you can see that there are multiple pictures which talks about there are cars parked in the roadside, and when a vehicle or when somebody is taking a photo and give that to an AI model, it starts telling that, hey, there are so many cars have been detected, and I'll put a bounding box on top of each and every objects. Or if I'm having a pedestrian who is crossing the road, I'll entirely detect who are all the pedestrians, which is in the blue color, and then whether there is a road. It's basically a segmentation kind of a results, and you can segment out what is the road, what is the pedestrian or cars, or even a buildings, vegetations. Like, so there are so many different kind of applications that we can find how AI can be applied in such areas, right? Not only 2D bounding box, you can also talk about a 3D bounding box. It will give the entire length, height of the vehicle, not only the bounding box in one 2D form. And even it can also recognize the traffic signs in the road, right? So even if you miss out, the camera in your vehicle will not miss out such kind of traffic signs. And then it tries to automatically reduce your speed. If you are entering into a speed limit zone, by accident or by mistake, you might have not noticed this kind of a traffic signs, but the camera will continuously look at it, and then it will start reducing the speed so that you can avoid accidents, or you can it increases the safety of your systems, right? So by using only cameras, we can bring in as many as number of features. That's what I'm bringing here. So we're talking about 4 cameras which are standing outside of the vehicle. One is in the front, another 2 of them are in the near the say mirror, and one is in the rear side. So you could see that with these 4 cameras, I can get the entire 360 degrees surround view of the vehicle. I can even rotate and then see what's the bird's eye view of that. So we'll see some examples. And then I'll also keep one camera inside the vehicle. It will continuously monitor what the driver is doing, and if there is the entire cabin can also be monitored by using this camera. So it's a DMS or a CMS is the features that we can bring in that context. So you can see that how the surround view system will look like, where you have 4 cameras. These are the 4 camera views, and then you try to stitch and do some algorithms changes, and hence you will be able to get such kind of a bird's eye view in this case, right? So I'll run this video. You can see that how these 4 different camera inputs are getting stitched, and you could able to get the bird's eye view from the top. If I wanted to look at the car, you could see that how well it's all stitched by using these algorithms, right? So I think many of you might have seen these kind of features are there in our vehicles nowadays. So these features will be helpful when you want to park your vehicle in a parking area, so you know what kind of obstacles are there in the sides, and hence this feature is more helpful for the drivers. Not only the 2D, but also you can see there is a 3D surround view system where you can see entirely, not from the top view, but from the side views also you can see that. You can rotate entire 360-degree of this vehicle, and you can also focus on which particular location that I wanted to see the vehicle. So that's the way our 3D surround systems will also be helpful. There are other applications, as I talked about already, something called driver monitoring system. It monitors the drivers and their eyes, and then even their mouth. It can also tell that whether you're yawning or you're about to sleep or you're drowsy. So where if you the key takeaway here is how the AI is penetrating in such applications, and then try to give you more and more such kind of alerts to the drivers if they are sleepy. And it can also not only giving alerts, but also it can take care of the control and then put some kind of a safe stop for the vehicle if the driver is sleeping in that case, right? And not only the sleeping, but also it will indicate if you have a Ola or Uber kind of a drivers, what they are doing, whether the Ola or Uber fleet owners can get such kind of a data, whether this guy is smoking or he's drinking, or eating while sleeping, or while driving, or he's using mobile phones, whether he's wearing a seatbelt or not. So those are all the additional features which can be found out by using the camera based perceptions when you fit these cameras into your vehicle, and it put all these data into the cloud, so that anyone or even if there is an accident happens, whose mistake is this, it will be able to easily be identified by using the previous data which are there, right? So these are all some of the videos. You can see that how these algorithms are actually trying to work, and you could see how the seat belts are getting detected, and if a person is sleepy, it's continuously seeing that he's getting into the distraction pod, or he's drowsy, whether he's using some a pet bottle or a water bottle, is identifying the drinking. And then if suppose if he's using, let's say, a cigarette, or if it'll also be identifying that this guy is smoking, right? Or if he's not wearing the seat belt, or a mobile can also be detected. So likewise, there are many such a features, and you can see that this guy is not wearing the seat belt. Many drivers, they do that, they just but nowadays there are sound will also come in the vehicle. So what they do is they put this seat belt backside the this thing, and then put it in the holder, but still he's not wearing the seatbelt, so to avoid the alarms. But camera based system will be more and more helpful to identify as he's really wearing the seatbelt or not, right? So that's where our AI based techniques are helpful in the automotive areas, how it could be able to identify such a safety critical systems in that way. There are other sensors are also getting used in automotives, but also in other areas, which is called lidars. So you can see that in a highway where you wanted to see a traffic in a highway, where it can go up to say 200, 300, 400 meters, right? A lidar which will be posted or kept it in a pole, and it keeps monitoring how many vehicles are going. It will give you the traffic density in that particular zone for going ongoing as well as incoming kind of a vehicles, right? And it will not also classifying those kind of an objects, not only the car, but also truck or a bus, even two-wheelers can also be detected. And whatever these lines are, basically their tracks. That means how long they are actually coming for the past 10 second. This is the track of that particular object, right? So one can able to identify the behaviors of these vehicles, whether he's okay driving or he's doing something like a crisscross kind of a way he's driving. So such kind of a patterns also one can able to find out by using this AI-based applications, right? Now, we'll also touch upon some of the sensors which are getting used. As I talked about, there are so many camera sensors you could see in recent vehicles. There are rear camera sensors are getting used in vehicles, as well as there are radars, there are lidars, and each and every sensor has its own purpose, right? Maybe camera will not be working in a rainy season, or maybe in a smoky season. Maybe some of you might have observed in Delhi, there are fog. Our north regions will have a fog, and hence cameras will not be able, even a human cannot be able to see what's there in the front. But radars are the best sensors, where it can even penetrate in such kind of areas, can immediately put a brake if there is any obstacles in the front, right? So that's the purpose of the radars. It's getting in automotive applications, right? And then there are ultrasonics, which are nowadays common in every vehicle, and there are wheel speed, steering angle sensors are all also available in our vehicles in that case. Okay, so we'll little bit touch upon how these smart vehicles are getting nowadays getting tested in different countries, different regions in the world. So this is automotive. It's basically Cruise from General Motors. This is from a company called Zoox, where they have fitted with multiple such sensors in the vehicle. They do data collections in the road, and then they try to put automation features. This is a Tesla vehicle, and this is Google's Waymo vehicle in that case. Yeah. So there are other autonomous vehicle, multi-purpose vehicles, or last mile connectivity vehicles, like a vehicle. If you go to a parking area and then you just stop the vehicle, these robots will come and then take your vehicle to a particular parking zone. This is something like a golf cart vehicle can drive without any human, take the people from one terminal to the another terminal in the airport. These are all some of the warehouse robots, right? So likewise, there are many such kind of vehicles you could see, which are getting applied in the context of self-driving or autonomous vehicles without any human interventions. So it's not necessarily that only human has to be transported. Even groceries or any medical items can be transported. Even warehouse robots are transporting packages from one location to the another. So everywhere, smartness are coming into these vehicles with the assistance of AI into them, right? More and more sensors, more and more AI-based algorithms are penetrated, and hence there are a lot of good examples that you could see, from an autonomous tractors to a commercial vehicles. What are those key elements? The key elements are, we try to give the human level perception. It means when you drive, you see the world through your eyes. But here we are replacing the human eyes by cameras, which will be fitted in the vehicles, so that the cameras can see what is there around. It's not only camera, but also radars and lidars, which is a little bit above the human intelligence. And then it tries to identify the controls, connectivity, and it tries to do the data logging and diagnostics, so that it can be able to even localize by itself where exactly you are there in the road, where exactly you are in the map. And it can also have the capability of doing calibrations and self-calibration configurations. So you can see some of these videos where you could see there are camera-based perceptions where AI models are detecting different objects. And then this is basically the LiDAR, which is in 3D. It detects all the objects and then putting a bounding box. And these white color space are the top view. If you see, this is the road which has the space, free space. So this white color space is the free space available, so that you can plan the vehicle autonomously driving, self-driving, without any human. It can take all the control actions inside this. So this is basically the perception task, is coming from different sensors. And this is another good AI based objects which can be adaptively used for every applications. It can generate the results, something like what is there in the vehicle, is there any vehicle in the front, is there any alternative path for you to cross the road, or you want to take a left or right to the other lane. and that becomes your, there is a color change. It's happening immediately the moment when you change. This becomes your lane, and the other lane will become an alternative drivable region, right? It's not only the on-road objects, but also it can see many other objects in the sides of the road also, right? It can detect pedestrians, it can detect even other buildings, right? Or even it can detect traffic signs and traffic poles. So everything can be detected by using a single model. And once this kind of intelligence is available by using an AI, you can apply that for any kind of a controls in your applications in that, right? So this is a quick application which I wanted to show it before even getting into a vehicle. We do a lot of simulations. You can it's an open source simulator. One can use that for controlling the vehicle and how well our like adaptive cruise controls are actually working, right? When you set the speed of say 50 kilometer per hour, and the vehicle will keep maintaining that 50 kilometer per hour, right? But at the same time, if I'm having something like a vehicle which is moving at the same 50 kilometer per hour and maintaining that, but there is a scenario changes, right? It identifies that there are multiple other vehicles also moving in the road. So what it will try to do is it will try to identify whether I can directly go there, or there is any space available. I'll do a lane change, right? So that I'll not go and hit, because my speed is a little bit more than this guy's speed. So this vehicle will take the decision of lane changing and then keep going in that way. So it has the level 2 kind of an automation and that kind of an intelligence which are available in some kind of these kind of systems, right? These are all simulations, but taking into a real world now, give this kind of a guidance to the drivers, even though you are driving, but I will start giving you such kind of a guidance to you, okay, from home to office, office to home, or a college to home, right? These indications will be available for you, so that even if you miss out your path, it will give you alternative path to reach your destinations. If you're exploring in a new city or a new region, these map based applications will be able to give you not only the indications, but also it displays in your vehicle itself, right, in the front, right? So that's one of the application, how perceptions and controls are getting applied. And as I talked about, there are multiple such sensor systems. Since I worked with Tata Elxsi, and hence it's my at least a privilege to use this particular video, where you could see that there are sensor fusions are also getting nowadays getting familiar in multi-sensor networks. So you have cameras, you have radars, lidars, all these different systems are providing the informations, right? So now if I wanted to do a sensor fusion of such inputs, right? So there are algorithms like Kalman filters, particle filters, even associations using the data associations using k-nearest neighborhood algorithms, so that you can able to associate different detections coming from camera, radars, and lidars, and then you'll collectively be able to give the entire uh, fused outputs. That is what I'm trying to show here, right? So you could able to see there is a pedestrian here, and this pedestrian is detected by the camera as well as the radar, and this pedestrian is moving with this meter per second as a velocity, whether he's coming towards you or it is going out. There is one region which is shadowed region, right? That is nothing but the direction towards it's coming, right? You could see that there is a truck here. If I move this video, there is a truck which is getting identified by the radar and lidar, which is what you can evidently see in this camera. So, and it is going in the direction opposite to your movement. So this is the face of the truck, and it moves in that direction. It is being detected by the camera and radars and lidars in that case. Okay, so this is how the sensor fusion technology is also getting more and more advanced with the penetration of AI based techniques. Okay, yeah. So more and more studies are also happening on the electric vehicle segments. So this is basically a digital twin example, where not you don't have to really work on the physical systems. Even you can generate a digital form of that kind of a vehicles, and form a digital twin which is in a digital form. Either it can be an entire vehicle or it can be only a battery, and then you try to analyze the entire battery behavior with the actual feed coming from these vehicles. Suppose if I'm moving from one location to another location, I can able to easily estimate how my battery or the electric vehicle state of charge is actually decreasing, and I'm trying to compare that with the digital twin response. So you could see that there are a very close match between these two uh, models, right? So one is a digital model, one is the actual. So you have a very good connectivity or a closeness between the actual and the modeled one. So with this, you will be able to say that confidently, yes, I have created a digital form of my battery. That's what we call it, the battery digital twin. So similarly, you can also generate your digital twins for your power system components. It can be a generator, it can be a motor, or it can be even the entire power system, right? Or it can be a bus, right? Or even an entire electric vehicle. So everything is possible. This is only one example I'm just throwing, but it can be possibly, you can see that in many different vehicles. Again, there are a couple of videos which are on the range
Features.
estimations.
Range estimation is one of such feature. User drives EV, enabled with a feature, and sets the destination on navigation HMI. The vehicle data is uploaded to cloud. The cloud microservice fetches the route information and terrain information. Traffic intensity on the selected route is obtained from Map API. Weather information is fetched from Open Weather Services. Results from range estimation feature are displayed in HMI. These results helps user to evaluate whether destination can be reached with the available charge under current traffic and weather conditions.
Yeah.
A dashboard is used as a web or mobile application to display the output of range estimation model. It displays the variation of estimated parameters along the entire course of journey for user reference.
Okay, so there are some couple of other videos which can also talk about your different driver digital twin applications. Last but not the least, the entire connected, autonomous, shared mobility, all these different technologies bringing in the smartness into our vehicle, and hence we coined the word called a case. C is for connected, A is for autonomous, S for shared mobility, and E is for the electric mobilities perspective, right? So a little bit touch which I have mentioned about the Gen AI. So I'll close my discussion here, and if with a little bit introduction to the Gen AI. So you could see that you have already seen the subset diagrams. What is AI, ML, and deep learning and Gen AI? Now inside the Gen AI, what's happening inside that? So you have a foundation models, you are talking about a large language models, and then ChatGPT is your interface through which you can able to talk to these LLMs in order to get your queries get answers through that, right? So there are a lot of good large language models which are available, and all these models or all these datas are in the form of a numbers. We call it as a vector database through which you try to learn, or you try to train your models, so that whenever you have a query, when you're asking, these models will be converting your queries into a numbers, and then it gets searched in a vector database and then give you the query results to you. And this is how your entire chat gpt is working, right? It's one example. Like that, you have a Google Gemini and many other different kind of systems are having. This is the very generic picture in which the LLMs or the embedded models are the backbone in order to produce your query results in that case. Okay, so with this I'll stop here. If there are any queries or anything, you can ask me, right? Yeah. I'll stop sharing.
Participants, any queries? Any queries? Or any questions? Please interact with our resource person, Dr. Gopinath sir. Participant,
type
you
it
have
in.
any queries? Type in chat box or mute your mic. Any queries?
Yeah, even if you have a queries in a later perspective, you can reach out to me through the coordinator, so that I'll be happy
Okay,
to
okay,
answer.
sir. Okay, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you so
No
much
problem.
for your wonderful speech
Thank you.
regarding electric vehicles and charging system. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
the
sir. Thank
opportunity.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Participants, please wait for 5 minutes. Once, and turn on your camera for taking screenshot with our resource person, Dr. Kubinas, sir. Please, participants are requested to turn on your camera for taking screenshot. It's a photo session, please. Fast.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening, ma'am. Yeah. So hopefully my presentation is okay. At least I could give some information about what is my experience over the past years, right? I could able to convey that to the participants. Yeah, some of them may not be exactly relevant to your area of expertise or your area of interest, but at least the key takeaway what I wanted to convey is more on how the AI is actually penetrating into our multiple applications, and hence everybody can start utilizing the power of AI in your specific applications. Yeah.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Gopinath.
Yeah.
The
Yes,
kind of overview you presented is
right.
excellent. It
Thank you.
covers a whole gamut of required and availability. At the same time, researcher get the view where
Right.
they can point out their research and work
Right.
on that. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
bringing a capsule of
Okay.
such a vast information.
Yeah,
in
because each and
short.
every topic
I
is of
know,
its own depth
I
and
know it's very
breadth.
difficult for you
Right.
to capsule it, but I'm thankful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for the feedback, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and also presenting the presentation also very useful for our participants. Thank you,
Sure.
sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. If possible, if I'm available there in Madurai sometime, I would be happy to visit your college and
Please,
then
sir, please. Welcome, sir. Welcome to our
yeah.
college, Atal Online College of Engineering.
Sure. Yeah.
I call you, sir. Thank you,
Right.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Participants, please wait. Another one, eminent person. That is 2 minutes. Wait. Dilip sir, can you hear me? Dilip sir?
Yes. Hi, good evening.
Yeah. Sir, is audible?
Yes, audible.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and also for your presence for our FTP. Welcome you, sir. Welcome you for Solomon College of Engineering for Atal Online Fdp. So before starting, just some introduction about our resource person. So now we have the resource person, Dr. Dilip's assistant professor in Jigme Namgyal Engineering College, Royal University of Bhutan. So our resource person is coming from that is Bhutan. He completed BA degree in Mahatma Gandhi University, Kerala, and completed ME degree in Power Electronics and Drives in National Institute of Technology, Warangal, India, and completed Master of Science in Neural and Cognitive Science, and completed PhD in Electrical Engineering, Indian Institute of Technology, that is IIT Roorkee, India. So he have more than 15 years of teaching and both academic and industry side experience, and published more reputed published more journals, that is greater than or more than 20 journals in international and national level, on organized more conferences and seminars and workshops. So really happy to welcome you for our FTP, sir. Welcome you, sir. So your session start now. Hand over to you.
Yes, thank you, madam. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, all.
Sorry,
Actually,
given only short time. Sorry, don't mistake me, sir.
it's okay.
Okay, sir. Okay,
It's
sir.
okay. I know
You can start
actually
now, sir.
we are running out of time at 20. I
Uh,
know actually you guys will be also eager to leave. I
No,
was
sir.
also
Our
actually waiting
participants
for.
are willing to hear your presentation. No problem.
Okay, okay. It says
Okay,
I'm
sir.
actually sharing the screen. Meanwhile, I was. Hope we can actually see the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible. Visible, sir. You can start, sir.
Okay, okay. So basically, I'll be actually taking a session on a comparative study of transformer-based machine learning models for solar PV power tracking. So basically, I will give a short introduction to the role of AI in renewable energy integration and a case study, which is actually solar power prediction that actually I will be explaining.
Sir, once
And
again, sir. Sir, can you increase the volume, sir? Sound?
okay, can you hear? Can you hear me
Lightly, sir.
properly? Okay,
If
okay, sorry.
possible, only raise your voice. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
so I will actually give a brief intro to the role of AI in renewable energy integration. Then I will explain a case study. So I'll actually try to complete as soon as possible. So we all know actually most of this renewable energy, whether it is wind, solar, whatever it is, actually these are actually intermittent in nature. That means continuously varying. So in case of solar itself, from morning to evening, you can see morning actually sunlight will be very low, and towards the noon, 12 o'clock to 3, we will actually have maximum sunlight. So the radiation will be more, then again actually it will decrease. And if it is in a rainy day, actually it will be continuously varying. So it is intermittent in nature. That is actually one of the major issue which we face from this all kind of renewable energy resources. So we are actually going to incorporate these renewable into EV charging stations and all, we will actually face a lot of issue because we need to actually supply some amount of energy continuously in EV charging station and all. Otherwise, actually, we should be able to predict and say how much energy we can provide for a particular time. So morning 10 o'clock, we can actually produce and actually distribute this much of energy, and after few hours, say 12 o'clock, this much, like that actually we should be able to predict and say this much of energy we can deliver, so that actually accordingly we can plan how much vehicle we can actually charge from a particular station. So that is actually an area where actually AI can be used in EV charging stations and all. So if a charging station is basically powered from solar, then definitely some kind of solar power prediction algorithms are okay, so that actually we can predict it effectively. So many prediction algorithms are there. Almost all the AI algorithms which you have developed in the back, uh, whether it is RNN, whether it is LSTM, whatever is there, we all actually applied in this solar power prediction, and actually these are working effectively also. And recently in the last years, 2023, 2024, transformer based models also actually came into picture. So these transformer based models were generally used for natural language processing, meaning actually to analyze and identify the languages. So right now actually we are talking in Malayalam and Tamil. Sorry, right now we are actually talking in English and Malayalam, Tamil, Kannada, all these languages. So for actually processing these languages, these NLP algorithms are basically used. So when actually we are processing this natural language, we know certain words actually we will repeat. Currently, when we are actually giving a lecture, certain words we are going to repeat continuously. So these natural language processing algorithms, these transformer-based algorithms have an attention mechanism. It will actually check the global dependencies in the input. That means whether the words are repeating or not. These things actually it will easily find out. So that is actually an application of transformer-based algorithms. So for that particular purpose, there is a mechanism in these transformer-based models that is known as self-attention mechanism. So when I actually observed that solar irradiation data, there is actually some kind of similarity in the data as in natural language. There is actually repetitive patterns in solar energy radiation data also. So that's why actually we thought of actually using these transformer-based models in predicting solar power. So there are a number of factors which depends which actually the solar power output depend upon. One is actually solar radiation. We know if the solar radiation is more power output will be there from a PV panel. Then the other parameter is temperature, then dust. If actually dust particle is accumulated on the surface of the panel, it will definitely affect the efficiency and the power output will be less. If the temperature is more, then also the power output will be less. Then shading, if it is shaded, then also power output will be less. Soiling effect is there, then humidity effect is there, then wind also affects. So there are actually number of factors actually affects the power output of a solar panel. And actually these factors actually affects more or less in different ways. So for an example, solar radiation, actually it affects solar power output largely. Temperature also like that. And when it comes to humidity and all, it won't affect much. The correlation is very less. So first actually what we have to do is that we need to find out the correlation between these parameters and the solar power output. That may be actually
Excuse me, dear. Excuse me. Can you put on that slideshow mode?
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry. So actually, the power output from a PV panel depends upon all these factors, and these factors, the dependency of these factors actually vary from location to location. So when you are actually going to predict power at a particular location, we need to actually find out the correlation between these factors, and we need to select those factors which are highly correlated. Otherwise, if you are going to select all these parameters, then it will be very huge data. We need to provide more resources and more training them. Actually, all the resources required will be more. So first, actually, we need to find out the correlation factor. So finding out the correlation, we used PSN correlation coefficient to find out the correlation. And actually, these are the values, PCC results. So humidity, you can see it is highly negatively correlated with the solar power output. That means if the humidity is very high, then the power output will be less. That means actually the atmosphere will be with more water molecules. So the solar radiation will actually get absorbed by this water molecule itself. So the power output from the panel will definitely decrease. So it is actually highly negatively correlated. When more humidity is there, power output will be less. Temperature, you can see 0.58 in 2016, 0.56 in 2017. Like that, it is also actually somewhat highly correlated. Then pressure, it is negatively correlated, but it is less. See 0.18, 0.12, 0.13. Then precipitable water 0.02. It is actually not at all correlated. These all are weather parameters. Then wind direction, wind speed. So first of all, actually, what we will do is that actually we'll find out the correlation, and from these actually we'll select some parameters. Humidity is highly correlated, temperature is highly correlated, and solar radiation we actually didn't include in this one because it's already highly correlated. So based on these PCC results, actually we choose only parameters which are highly correlated, and we avoided other parameters for the prediction. And we used two algorithms. One is decomposition linear, which is known as D-linear. D-linear is actually basically used for natural language processing. It is actually a combination of autoformer and fedformer with the linear layers. In this particular algorithm, what it does is that whatever data actually we give to this algorithm, it will actually split the data into two parts. One is actually the trend part and other is the remainder part. if there is some trend in this data, that will actually come in the trend part. The remaining whatever is there, it will be in the remainder. As I said, it is actually used for natural language processing. If in that language if there is any trend, that will come in the trend part. Remainder will go to the remainder part. Now actually it will apply separate linearization to both these parts, and using that actually it will forecast, and the forecasted value will be added together to form a forecasted output. That is actually which is done in decomposition linear. So you can see x from x1 to xc the input. It is split into two data parts. One is trend and other is remainder. Then linear. This both is actually linearized, then forecasted and added. That is actually what we will do in delinear. I'm not much explaining about this algorithm. Then next is actually, and as I said, in delinear attention mechanism is also there within the algorithm. It will actually find out the trend values in the data. Then another one is actually TC mix. TC mix is actually a combination of TCN and a mixer. TCN actually is similar to the talk which was delivered by the last speaker, where actually he was actually explaining about the detection mechanism. There also actually this TCN network is used, where actually a kernel will be passed through the data, and you can see this is the kernel. K is the kernel, and K will actually move from this left to right, one layer by one layer, and it will actually convert this much part into a single value. So here, if it is here in this particular position, then 1 into 1 plus 0 into 0 plus 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1 plus 1 into 1 plus 0 into 0 plus 1 into 1 plus 0 into 1 plus 1 into 1. That will be actually coming here, see 4. Like that, it will actually move one by one, then actually it will convert this particular data into one equivalent value. This is actually basically used for processing that images and all. When you are actually developing an algorithm to predict and see, check particular image, then that image will actually convert it into this type of data 0101. Then a kernel will be moved across that image. It will convert into small I into k value. Those kind of things will be used. Similarly, the solar data or the NLP data will be converted into this I format. Then actually a kernel will be passed, and then actually an equivalent data like this will be formed. Then actually after that, a mixture is also used. Mixer is used where actually there is a self-attention mechanism to find out whether there is any global dependencies or not. That is actually TC mix. So you can actually see this is the input data, then this is the kernel, then actually kernel will be multiplied with the input data to produce the output, and from there this is actually TCN part. Then we will actually apply the mixer. So this output of TCN will be divided into 3 equal parts: vector, kernel, and query. Then at each score is actually calculated by multiplying query and k. Then a score softmax function is applied, and that is actually at the attention mechanism. So that attention mechanism is actually determine whether there is any global dependency or not, and that will be actually used for prediction. That is actually TC mix. So here actually you can see the results. So the predicted result. So you can see here a blue line, that is the actual result. Okay, what we have done is that we have used data up to 2015 for training the algorithm, then the next year for prediction. So 2016 data was also there. That is actually shown as actual. Then we use a TC mix, delinear, and a hybrid of delinear and TC mix for prediction. So you can see almost actually the prediction is similar. So these are actually the prediction for January, February, March, April, May, and June. So the predicted value and the actual value are somewhat similar. So these are for the remaining months. So the RMSE, MAE, and MAP error For D-linear were 11.32, 6.9 and 10.88. TC mix was 12.22, 7.4. And for the hybrid was 11.35, 6.9. And it was found that D-linear was actually performing well for solar power prediction when compared to DC mix and hybrid of the both. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
Sir,
much,
Dilip,
sir.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Any
sir.
queries? Any
Very
queries,
good.
please?
Yes, sir, you can continue.
Sir, your PPT is very good, sir.
Thank you, sir, thank you.
Some other viewers, some other queries?
Participants, any queries, please interact with our resource person.
If you are
Today we
having
have
any queries, you
three
can ask
eminent
now.
persons. Do you have any queries? Any electric vehicle, any charging system? Please interact our resource person.
Good evening, sir. Hello.
Dilip sir,
Hello.
can you hear me, sir?
Good evening,
Yes,
sir.
yes. Good evening.
This is Dr. Mutturaja.
Hi.
Actually, sir, I have one doubt on e-vehicle. Actually,
Okay.
recently I saw the news that France banned the e-vehicle production in their country. But even though we are initiating that e-vehicle progress in our country, then that country already banned that system, but now we are going to initiate. So I don't know how it is going to impact in our development on e-vehicles, sir, in India.
Sir, actually, there are some issues with EV now. So one is actually disposal of the batteries after actually the lifetime is over. But actually, when we are looking into the system, when from an environmental point of view, we have to actually shift slowly to this EV or hydrogen powered vehicles and all. And when it comes to India, even actually if we are using EV, anyway electricity is produced by burning fossil fuel only. So anyway, actually indirectly we are producing more carbon. Slowly actually we are shifting to solar and other renewable energy. Then actually in the future more EVs will be our option, because it is actually a global pressure also. When actually right now I am in Bhutan, here actually the energy, total electrical energy is produced from hydro only. It is completely renewable. So such a country, then actually when they shift to EVC, they can actually completely cut down the carbon emission. So in our country, first of all, actually we have to produce electricity from renewable. If you are actually producing electricity from burning fossil fuel, then finally actually we are producing carbon in some other way. So we actually have to go a long way, but actually it is necessity of the time. And if EV is producing more problem, then actually now hydrogen vehicles are also coming up. There are many countries who already came up with many prototypes. Even India is also trying to develop our own hydrogen trains and all. So the future actually will cope up with this issue and we will come up with our technology hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any queries? Please type in chat box. Otherwise, we wind up our session. Participants, any queries? Okay. Anyway, thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dilip sir, Dr. Dilip sir. Thank you for coming and presence of you. Thank you. All participants are requested to
Feedback link
present
in
feedback.
chat box, ma'am.
Okay.
Please,
Okay.
yes, okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you all. We'll meet you next day. Good night.